Good morning, my great achievers. You are all welcome to Home Economics online class. You are also welcome to a new class. Last time we discussed about care of the nail, clothing accessories, home surroundings. We talked about good eating habits, labor-saving devices. We also talked about footwear and common problems of the feet. Today's topic is Introduction to sewing tools. Introduction to sewing tools. We'll be learning what is sewing, what are sewing tools, state the uses of sewing tools, and also you should be able to identify sewing tools. Sewing is the process of joining pieces of materials together to make a dress, skirt, etc. That is, when you talk about sewing, it's the process of cutting materials into pieces and then you join them together with the use of needle and thread or making use of your sewing machine. Now, we are talking about sewing tools. Sewing tools are the items that are used for making garments. As you can see on the screen, these are sewing tools. Needle is used with thread to hold pieces of materials together. As you can see, she's using thread. And there's no how she can make use of thread without using thread. Thread is used with needle for tacking and making permanent stitches on fabrics. We are still going to talk about different types of stitches. This is needle and this is pin cushion. As you can see, this pin cushion. Now the next one is tape measure or tape rule. Tape measure is used for measuring the body parts and materials. And I know most of us, we are familiar with this. That whenever you want to sew any clothes, your seamstress will make use of tape rule or tape measure to take your measurements before sewing the clothes. Then this is scissors. Scissors are used for cutting clothes. Then pins, as you can see, these are pins. These are pins, but this is the one that the pins are attached to. Is called pin cushion. Pins are used for holding materials temporarily. As you can see on the screen, she's using pins to hold the fabric temporarily before cutting. We normally use pins. After taking the measurement before you cut it out, you can make use of your pins to hold the fabric down, that is the clothes. We are still talking about the sewing tools. We have thimble. Thimble is used to protect the finger when putting the needle into material for sewing. These are thimbles. Then these are buttons. Then tools box is used to keep the tools for sewing. These are the tool box. These are tool box for keeping the tools for sewing. Then tailor's chalk. We have different types of tailor's chalk. If you look at the fabric on the screen, you can see those white lines. After taking the measurement, you can make use of your tailor's chalk to mark the fabric so that you'll be able to get the specific measurements. So tailor's chalk is used to mark materials or clothes when cutting. Children, I want you to concentrate on this video on sewing tools.
Hi, I'm Shannon Orr, owner of Eva Blake's Bakery. Today we're going to talk about sewing supplies, just some basic things that you need to get started. There's a lot out there, but this is all you'll need at the beginning. So you'll need a pin cushion. I prefer the quilting pins. They're nice and long and they have a really sharp tip. Some basic threads. These are just a cotton poly blend. They come in hundreds of colors that you can choose from. There's a fabric marking pencil, a hem ruler that's good for when you need to mark the depth of a hem on skirts or pants. This is a rotary cutter. You'll also need a rotary mat to make sure that you're not cutting through your tabletop. These are some great scissors. They have a really soft handle, but they're very sharp, so they'll cut through the fabric and the pattern at the same time. This is a seam ripper to make sure that you can undo all of those oops mistakes. These are clover clips. These are really great clips. They're nice and tight, and they're good for clipping along hemlines or necklines, also for bias tape. There's a couple different kinds of bobbins that you'll be using in your machine. Older machines use a metal bobbin, and the newer ones tend to use plastic. You want to make sure that you're using the right bobbin for your machine, and your owner's manual will tell you all about that. Then there's just a basic tape measure ruler that's really great for measuring yourself as well as your patterns. And at last, there's this small iron. You don't need a small iron. I use a small one because it's really lightweight and it has very hot steam. So those are all the things that you'll need to get started for your sewing basics. Thanks for tuning in, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can find...
I hope you've learned more on sewing tools. These are your assignments. Explain the uses of the following sewing materials: buttons, ironing board. Make sure you attempt your assignment, and make sure you attempt your quiz and assignment on the Edmodo platform. Please, my wonderful pupils, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.